So here we go, trig quiz number 5. This has both sine, oh, this has a little bit of everything on it. So mark your own, honestly. Do my usual silly joke there. It says solve each of the following triangles. Aaron, when they say solve, what they really mean is find everything. Well, I already know angle A and little c, so I'm not going to bother finding those. But basically, in a triangle, if I know there's 6 things, 3 angles and 3 sides, if I know 3, I can usually find the other 3. If there's a right angle, SOHCAHTOA, Pythagoras. If there's not a right angle, sine law, cosine law. Find angle big C. Okay, well, I have a pair right there, so I'm going to use the sine law. I'm going to say that the sine of 40 over what's across from it equals the sine of big C over what's across from it. When I cross multiply with my calculator, which I better make sure is in degrees, hey, it is, I'll get 8 times the sine of 40 divided by 12. I'll get the sine of C equals 0.4285, which means that angle C equals, how do I find an angle if I know the decimal version of the sine or the cosine or the tangent? Second function of the trig function that you know. Do you get 25 point? I'll go 25.4. If you went 25, that'll be fine, but I don't want to round off unless I have to. Heck, I'll even go 25.37 degrees. Oh, now I know angle B. Angle B is going to be 180 degrees minus 40 degrees minus 25.37 degrees. 180 minus 40 minus that number. You get 114.6 degrees, 114.62 if you want it to be that fussy. 115, yes, I'd take that as well. The last thing I need to find is, little b. I'll go sine law again. You could do it because you know this and you now have side, angle, side, and this is a little bit. You could go cosine law, and that will be fine too. Cosine law is more work. I prefer the sine law because it's cross-multiplying, and some of you are already at a stage where you can almost do most of it just by going to your calculator, showing very little work. I wouldn't do it that way on a quiz or a test tonight, but on my homework, sure, why not? I think you'll get this. The sine of 40 over 12 equals the sine of 114.62 over little b. I think you'll end up with little b equaling 12 times the sine of 114.62, which conveniently is my last answer, divided by the sine of 40. You get 16 point, well, I guess 17-ish. Is that right? I'll go 17.0. How would I mark this? It's 6 marks, 2 marks each. So if you got angle C and side B and angle B correct, give yourself 6 out of 6. Otherwise, the way I marked this was if I saw the correct sine law, that got you 1 mark. If you got the 0.4285, that got you a half mark. And then a half mark for going shift sine of that. 2 whole marks for going 180 minus minus. That means if you got this wrong, but you went 180 minus minus, and you got a different answer here, I would give you 2 full marks for doing that part right, as long as you did go 180 minus whatever angle you got, minus 40 degrees, and then 17. Number 2. Angle K is 71 degrees, all right. Little n, 9.4. Little p, 8.2. Find little k. Yoink. Alex, is there a right angle? Nuh-uh. Is there a pair? Can I use the sine law? Let's see. Do I know both of those? No. Do I know both of those? No. Do I know both of those? No. Can I fill in any other angle? No. So is there a pair? Nope. This looks like a job for cosine law. That's what I'll think in my head. Call that big A and little a. It's going to be k squared. Yeah, I know it's a little a, but I'll put the variable there. Equals, it's 9.4 squared plus 8.2 squared minus 2 times 9.4 times 8.2 cosine of 71. 9.4 squared plus 8.2 squared minus 2 times 9.4 times 8.2 times the cosine of 71. What the? Oh! What do I have to remember to do now? Square root. I always forget to do that, actually, and I always think the answer seems way too big. 10.2669, 10.3, 10.27, whatever. Is that right? How did I give part marks out on this one? 1 mark if I saw that, 1 mark for the answer. But if you got the answer right, Aaron, then I'm good. You can give yourself a little score out of 8 if you want to. Because it's 6 plus 2, which would be 8, Sierra. No calculator required. And then you can turn the page. Oh boy, here's another fun one where I got to solve everything. They told me big Z is 70 degrees. Mr. Dueck, did you just use the same triangle from question 1 and change the letters? Maybe. Angle Y is 98 degrees. And little y is 22.5. Find big X. Oh, okay. Angle X is going to be 180 minus 98 minus 70. I think I did it in my head. 180 minus 70 is 110. 12 degrees? Yeah. Except I should have done that in red, continuing with my color scheme. So angle X is going to be 180 minus 98 degrees minus 70 degrees equals 12 degrees. Yay, there's one answer. Angles, or sorry, side little z. Right there. Oh, I got a pair. Sine law. Sine 70 over z equals sine 98 over 22.5. Now what, Sierra? Cross multiply. Are you getting bored with cross multiplying? And I hope you're at the point where you find cross multiplying a boring waste of time because you've done it so much. Good. That's really the goal. Because I think you're going to get this. 22.5 times sine 70 divided by sine 98. You get 21.35 for side Z. Matt's nodding. I'll take that. 21.35. What is it? Centimeters? Meters? Meters? Matt, what's the next thing you want me to find? That's that guy. Oh, I still have a pair. And I know this angle is 12 degrees. Sine law. The sine of 98 over 22.5 equals the sine of 12 over little x. Little x is going to be 22.5 times the sine of 12 divided by the sine of 98. You get 4.72? 4.7? There you go. 2 marks. 2 marks. 2 marks. 1 mark for the line, 1 mark for the answer, 1 mark for the line, 1 mark for the answer, but tonight I got the whole thing. Oh, you could also have found x using the cosine law now, but cosine law is more work. Thumbs up. Who's getting perfect so far? Just curious. Ooh, several of you. Good, 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 good. Question 4. Oh, right angle. Ha. No problem. Find little w. Why, that's also the hypotenuse now. I can use Pythagoras. 9 squared plus 12 squared equals w squared. 9 squared plus 12 squared, that's 81 and 144. 225. W equals the square root of 225. Is W 15? Even? With no decimals? Oh, that's nice. Angle U. That's that guy. Adam, we're finding an angle. We're going to hit the shift button here somewhere along the way. And it's a right angle triangle, so I can go, that's opposite, that's adjacent. And I can keep in the back of my mind, Adam, my friend, the magic word. Right? Which trig function? Simon? Yeah. What I'm going to be doing during spring break in Phoenix. Woohoo! You know what? You're going to get this. Tangent of big U equals opposite over adjacent. Simon, how do I find an angle? Yes, and then what? Except I got a good calculator. I'm not going to waste time dividing 12 by 9. I'm going to do it all in one line. I'm going to go second function tangent of 12 divided by 9. I got to put it in brackets, but why not be lazy? And I get 53.1 degrees, yeah? If you said 53 degrees Boston, I'm good with that. Angle U equals 53.1 degrees. Oh, Marcus, how big is this angle? How big is this angle right here? 90. Did I just figure out angle U? Then if I know 2, I know the third one. Angle V is going to be 180 minus, why up there, Mr. Dick? Minus 90 degrees, minus 53.1 degrees. I think I can do it in my head. 36.9? Or no? Yes? Yeah. I even carried the 1 in my head. Like as a decimal. That's pretty good. Okay. My high-tech marking scheme on this one. 1 mark if I saw that, 1 mark for the answer, although I just gave 2 marks for the answer because I don't mind. If you can do Pythagoras in your head, like showing no work, I mean, I think in your homework, Marcus, that's a good thing. I wouldn't do it on a quiz or a test. 1 mark for that, 1 mark for that, 1 mark for the answer. Nearly done. Turn the page. This was the toughest question. Because what they gave me here, Emily, was 3 sides. Little a, they said, was 37, 40, 44. Joe, right angle? Ah! Is there a pair? Do I know a side and an angle across from it? Where? That's a side and an angle? No. When I say is there a pair, what I mean is there a side and an angle across from it? We can't use the sine law here. I don't know any angles. This is not, what I mean by a pair, Joe, is that. Do I know both of those? Or do I know both of those? Or do I know both of those? I'm not saying, hey, do I know 2 things? A pair is an angle and the side opposite across from it. So do I have a pair? Give me 1 second while I pause this. So, Joe, these are the toughest ones. Okay? Which angle do I want to find? There's 3 of them. You know what? Why don't I find A first, because that matches that. And I did give you this equation, which was new. I said, if you go through the trouble of getting cos A by itself from this guy, you get that. I'll give that to you on the test. It gives us a shortcut. So we can say this. The cosine of big A equals little a squared. Okay, which of these 3 numbers is has to be little a? Got to be the 37 squared. The other two you can be sloppy with. All over -2 times the second one and the third one. The second issue is being able to type this in. Is there more than one number on the top? Yes, brackets. Is there more than one number on the bottom? Yes, brackets. In other words, bracket 37 squared minus 40 squared minus 44 squared. Close that bracket off. Oops, the minus sign didn't come in. Divided by bracket -2 times 40 times 44. Close bracket. I've got something wonky here. 37 squared minus 40 squared minus... do that. I put a negative instead of a minus. And you get 0.6156. That's the, oh, no, that's not the angle. That's the cosine of the angle. Danielle, how do I find an angle? Second function, cosine of that. 52 degree, you know what? I bet you I made that 52 degrees exactly when I made this question up and worked my way backwards. So, angle A, 52 degrees. Joe, this angle right here is 52 degrees. You know what that means now, Joe? Look up, look up, look up. Now I have a pair. I can use sine law for the rest, which is way less work. I can say the sine of 52 over 37, because those are the ones that go together, equals the sine of angle C over 40. And over here, I can also say the sine of 52 over 37 equals the sine of angle H over 44. Cross multiply for both of them. I'll get 40 times 40 times... Try that again, Mr. Dueck. 40 times the sine of 52 divided by 37. That's the sine of C. Inverse or second function sine. Angle C is 58.4 degrees. And then I can either use the sine law, or if I'm really clever, I can just go 180 minus 52 minus 58.4. Is the other one 69.6? And I'll give you a plus or minus of a couple of points either. In other words, if you have 69.7, Alex, I'm okay with that. Angle H equals 69.6 degrees. 2 marks for each of those. And the last one, a compound diagram, a triangle inside of a triangle. It says find MN. I think I'm going to solve this triangle where this angle here is 23 and 13, 36 degrees, and this is 13 high, and I can find that. Then I think I'm going to solve this smaller triangle where this is 23 degrees. I'll call that Y. And then I think MN is going to be the long side minus the short side, whatever's left. I think this is a subtraction question. So, here we go. Opposite, adjacent. Tangent of 36 equals x over 13. X equals 13 times the tangent of 36. 9.445. Opposite, adjacent, except why did I put a 12 there instead of a 13, Mr. Dueck? Don't ask me. There, fix that. I'm going to have tangent of 23 equals opposite over 13. 13 times the tangent of 23 equals that, 5.518. mn equals 9.445 minus 5.518. mn equals 9.445 minus 5.518. You get 3.93 or 3.9? Two marks. In terms of part marks for that one, I don't know. Oh, I probably would have given you a half mark for that, a half mark for that, and then 1 mark for subtracting. Can you give yourself a score, grand total on this here quiz here, out of 28, please? Big quiz.